Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name's Kirsten and this is where I art and craft. And I was just sitting down to do a wee bit of something and I thought, oh, it's a while since I've done a colour cube. I think maybe Cindy at Studio Lou isn't doing them any longer, she's busy with other things. So I thought, well, just draw your own then, Kirsten. So I've picked up box number 2. And let's see where we go. Let's start by taking out my wee marker card and see where we go. Let's go there. Front or back? This one. Oh, that's not one we've had before. Number 429. Put that wee marker in. It looks like it's clouds, doesn't it? It looks like it's a cloudscape going on there. And I love these colours, very rich. Got a kind of midnighty blue, really dark purple, beautiful reddy orange, a kind of burnt orange, and a almost kind of sepia colour at the top here. What we got? Dark blue, dark purple, scarlet, flame, and marigold. And there's your numbers if you want to try and find roughly the right colour. If you don't have, these are Sarah Renee Clark's colour cubes, and if you don't have them then that's fine, just go with how you feel these colours are. I think you've really got to ignore the names given to them, because she uses the same names time and time again for different colours. So I would say more kind of go with, we're talking about earthy yellow and then orangey reds and dark purple and blue. So I'm going to collect up some bits and pieces and then I'll be back. Life isn't allowing me to craft at the moment, but I'm back to try and finish this because I've got something else I want to do as well. So I'm going to try and do this first. And I collected some bits and pieces which follow these colours. This is a bit that I was playing with some fusions. Can't say I'm greatly, I need to do some more playing with them. I think that's probably what it is. But that's still one of the colours, two of the colours, a bit of that colour there. This was a bit of cyanotype, which is quite good. This has kind of got all the colours. This is just from a magazine, but this is fab. I love that. Got some bits of blue. This is a bit of card I've had forever, and I mean, I'm talking it must be about 10 years, and I keep on never using it and putting it back away. And the reason, one of the reasons I never use it is you can see it's shiny, but it's kind of got those ones there and it's got those ones there. So I kind of thought, well, maybe this is the time to use it, and if nothing else, if I end up doing a pocket, it can be a tag in the pocket. I also picked up this because this has got the blue circles on it, and I thought, see, I've got these circles. I really like these circles. I'm really going towards these. I've picked up some bits, other bits and pieces. I've picked up this because that's a really good match for that, and I just think that might act as some kind of focal image, whatever. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm tempted to turn this up. Well, for those of you who maybe haven't seen me do the colour changes stuff before, I'm colour changing and in kind of pages to end up doing a signature. So I suppose it might make more sense to fold that over. There's a tear there, but I don't think that matters. Fold that over and just start another signature, because the signatures might only be one page. That's just the nature of the way it's working out. And then I'm kind of tempted to put them that way with inside, and inside then could be something, some other colour. So let's do that, and let's use this so we can deal with this bit here as well, and I really want to use this because I just love it so much. So I could put that down there as a pocket, though it's not quite wide enough to go the whole way up, and I have a feeling I could do a pocket that way, couldn't I? Do it kind of like a tuck spot that way, but I need to do something in the background here. Oh, I also pulled out this Seedless Preserve embossing glaze, because when I saw that purple I immediately thought of Seedless Preserve. So I'm now wondering then if maybe what I want to do is maybe, see, this is going to be too, maybe I use this as the, trouble is I've got the purple and the blue are opposite sides, so this really probably needs to be a tag if I'm going to use it, because it's going to be too thick for a, need to think about that. But I'm thinking I want to maybe do some stenciling on the back here, and then maybe I'll do some printing or something. Do I want to use this? I don't know if I want to use this at all. I feel I need to do something with this, the back of this first. If I'm going to make this my page that then I do something on, I need to do something on it. And I'm kind of circles here, circles here. So I am wondering if I want to stick to a kind of circly theme. And I've just looked up and I've seen a stencil. I'm going to get that stencil. That stencil's just staring at me. Shall we use this? Because this is circles, isn't it? I think I'm going to use this stencil. Right. Now the thing is, if I use this stencil, I'm actually going to lose a lot of this colour. So that's maybe not... no, not when I want to keep a lot of that colour. That's not the stencil to be using. But I've got other stencils. Oh, I've got a new stencil I've not used yet, which actually might be this Stencil Girl one. It's not circles, but actually it kind of, it's a retro feel like those circles have. And I could put that on. Oh, I kind of think I like that, because there's going to be a lot of the other stuff left behind as well. I'm almost tempted, I think, to put it that way around so we get those two circles. So this is, for those who are interested, this is Stencil Girl, shape small, S936. S936, shape small, by Stencil Girl. Okay, let's do that. So what colour are we going to use? That's the next question. I think I want to try and go for a kind of, that is this going into this, so maybe this colour that I used to put through the stencil needs to be that going into that. So that's talking about a, I'm trying to think what the best colour for that might be. It's two more reddy than those ones. See, the cantaloupe is more orangey. I could maybe do depends I'm just thinking here, what colour do I want to, I'm almost tempted to go with wild honey, actually, because wild honey is that kind of orangey yellow. Let's use some wild honey. Oh, see, that's quite good. I quite like that. It's kind of subtle, but there, which is what I was really looking for. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put some, and I just want some, oh, that was a big splatter. That's okay, I don't mind one of them being big. And then I'm going to get a bit of, and just dab off especially that big bit, because I don't want it to lose the pattern. Right, I'm going to go and wash off my stencil. Can you see that? How it's kind of, that means we've got another colour happening there. I'm going to wash off my stencil as that dries, and I'll be back. That's a background. Now what I could do is, I was thinking I could maybe do a tuck, and then with this I could do a journaling card to tuck inside that. So let me think. Right, I'm going to get my scissors, and I'm going to, that's okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. Right, now this is very shiny, and I've got, there's two ways I could deal with that. I could either put something over the top of it, or I could sand it down. This needs, let me have a look. Oh, see, there we go. What have we got here? We've got some tissue paper. Oh, we've got, there's a bit of 4-ice paper. There's a bit of tissue paper. Now this has got a distillery's name on it. Crafty Distillery. With a kind of, the fact it's got a circle on it though, I quite like that. It's also got that lightning bolt, which is less of interest, but the circles are quite good. See, and if I stuck that down there, then I quite like the fact that, and then we could do some stamping and embossing on top of that. Or should I stamp and emboss it first and then stick it down? I think it's, I'm going to struggle to heat emboss it while it's still just, I've never heat embossed tissue paper. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to do a wee experiment, because I've never heat embossed tissue paper before. And there's a surprise. I wonder why I've never done that before. Have I done it before and dismissed it and never did it again? There's a bit of colour on this one. Obviously, we've got a bit of purple on here as well. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bit off like so. Right, there's another bit, because I bet every tissue paper, well, not every tissue paper, but there's lots of different types of tissue paper, so I bet it depends on your type of tissue paper as to how it reacts as well. That's clearly an oxide ink on there because there's some separation, but that's okay, because that could be kind of cool on top of there as well. But what I want to do is I want to cut this here, right, and I want to do two things. First of all, I want to put this underneath here, and what are we going to use as our stamp? Do we want to try and stick with the kind of round theme, or do we want to go for something else? I want to try and stick with the oh, how about this? Now this is a bit of a background, then that means we could put something on top of it, couldn't we? This is an all and create elements of nature number 516, and we've got lots of circles and a couple of numbers. There we go, you can see that really sticky. It's not stamped very well actually, which is interesting, and I'm wondering if that's part of because that is a bit crinkly, but never mind. Let's put this over. Oh, I was going to cut this in half and put half of it on a backing, wasn't I? Never mind. There we go, that's not bad. Only lost a little bit. There we go. Let's tip that off. You'll see, I like the fact that some of that's stuck on and some of it hasn't because it's not flat. That's kind of giving me a kind of nice fuzzy feeling. Right, let's tip this back in here. Okay, that's still something ended up wet, sticky, whatever on there. Put that over there. Let's close this up before we have any accidents. Now you see, it's just, how is this going to dry? How am I going to do this without it? Let's make sure we've got my heat tool lovely and hot so that I don't need to put it on for long. That's maybe one thing to do. This is the back side of it as well, I've just realised. Oh, and that's interesting. Right, and I'll show you that. Look how that's come through that paper. So, let's see. I'm just conscious that that's going to, so I'm going to try doing it this way and hoping that it'll do it quickly. I can already see it melting in some places. I'm having to keep moving it around a lot. I don't know how much of this you're hearing. I won't know that till I start editing. I'm having to move it around a lot because I don't like the fact I'm doing it down onto a surface without any, there'll be a build-up of heat happening underneath, whereas normally, because I have it up, the heat doesn't build up underneath that. Looks like it's all melted. That's looking quite cool actually. I must say I like the kind of effect where you can see some of it and some of it it's not gone, but you can see that it's inked nevertheless. I'm curious how this looks. Lost the colour. It's no longer that purpley colour because it's mixed with the oxide. Oh, that's interesting. It's made that more a kind of mustard colour on that side. You can see this is where the glaze isn't. Do you know what? I think that's really cool. But two things. First of all, I probably need to do it on the right side of the paper so that I still, oh, does that matter? No, because actually the circles on the paper show less on that side. They show really better on this side, don't they? So that's worked. I'm going to count that as a win. That's worked, but I've ended up with the wrong colours. None of that's not that red colour. It's not, I've ended up with the wrong colours because of the mix of the oxide with the heat when I did that. I haven't cleaned off this either. Dearie me. I'm having one of those weeks. So I am, don't know, let's just dry that off. And I think we're going to have to go on. But what that tells me is I can do it on the paper and then stick it on. And I think I'm rather do that because I think there's a danger of if I do it stuck already on, then it might lift it back off again. The heat might lift it back off again. So let's use this, and I'm going to use, and see if I use this bit that's got the oxide on, is that me asking for trouble again? I could use it that way round so it's not, the oxide's on the other side. Do I want the whole thing on? I think I do want the whole thing on. So it's just, right, and I think what I'll do is, Right, let's take this off here. Oh, look at that. That looks good. Give it a wee. I don't want to tap it because I don't want to tap it off. I think it'd be very easy to tap off. Just dust a few bits off. Tap it right off because it's thin. Let's put that there. Let's put this back in its tub. Oops. And let's heat up again. And then we'll bring it over once it's hot. Look at that. Oh, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Let's see, where's the bit of card? What have you done with the bit of card, Kirsten? Oh, there it's there. Right, I've just got to hope it's going to go clearer when I try and stick it down. Some tissue paper goes clear, some doesn't. I never quite know until you do it. So I'm just going to use glue stick, I think. I'm just going to use glue stick. So let's just use some. Now, if you use a cheap glue stick, then you probably want to just scratch the surface, just run it over with a bit of sandpaper, a bit of emery board, put some, well, if you put some clear gesso on, then you're covering up a bit as well. However, my glue stick I trust to stick on shiny stuff, so I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to put that on there like that, and just, oh, it's still a wee bit. Right, let's just press it out from the outside. Oh, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. I'm loving the wrinkles. I'm loving the fact that we've got the circles, but we've got all the colours behind, although it is muting the colours. But I've got the circles. The circles actually are becoming more obvious as well, aren't they? Let's just push this all down. So let's just, I'm just going to use my finger to burnish it because I don't want to either rip the tissue paper or rub off the embossing. Let's just, so just use my finger to burnish this all down. I'm just working it right into the edge, and I'll just go round in a second and wet the edge to tear it. I could actually just fold that edge over. Oh, I've got some. Look at that. That's, oh, I'm loving that. I might do an extra bit of stamping. We'll see, we'll see. I might not. Depends. Let's see how it looks like once we've got the edges off. So let's just use your finger. You can use a brush, you can use your finger just to take along the edge there, and then it'll just, or it might be a tissue paper that doesn't just, oh no, it is, it's going now. Just took a while to soak in. I do like that kind of torn edge rather than a very cutty edge. Right, let's just get a bit more I think I need to go all the way around this and give it a chance to set in and then come back and tear it. It's like you're putting on your perfume in the olden days. I don't tend to get perfume in that kind of bottle. Oh, maybe do if you buy really expensive perfume. I don't tend to get perfume in that kind of bottles. It tends to be all squishy or rolly stuff nowadays. There we go. One last one. As I say, you can use a brush, but you're just about transferring some water onto you. So your finger will work as good as any brush. There we go. Just tear that off there. Tear it down. Use the side of the to tear it off. There's a couple of bits, bigger bits there, and you can either just run that over and try and get them again, or you just run a bit of glue and stick them down, or just leave them as they are. When you go round with a, with some ink at the end, that tends to push them all into place as well. There we go. Oh, I'm liking that. That was fun. That was fun. I'm liking that a lot. It needs something on it. It needs a focal point or a focal image or a... See, I did have this. I was thinking about maybe using... Oh, see, I could still use that. Does it cover up too much? Well, don't know if it does. Or do I cut it out? Use it as a focal image once I've cut it out. A focal image, I shouldn't worry about it covering up, should I? I don't really want it to cover up too much of the circles, though. You see, that's me issue. I do quite like the fact that brings back the very orangey colours back into it. Do you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Leave it there. There we go. See, I could hang that right on the very edge. It's interesting, on the thing it was down like that, but actually it's a woodpecker. So I'm kind of tempted maybe to say it goes like that. Do I hang it right on the edge like that? Do I put it, oh, do I put it up here where we've got that bit almost for it? Ooh, I kind of like that. And then I could put the pied woodpecker down this bit with all its holes on down there, and that's going to be stuck behind that pocket like that. Oh, I like that. I like that. Right, these ones I'm keeping and putting in. Well, I'll just put them there just now. Right, I think I'm going to ink it up first, and that's why I've left the wild honey, because I think I'll use the wild honey to ink this up, just to bring it back to some more of the yellowy. Right, let's put that back on there. And let's think, is this dry? This is, yeah, this is dry. This actually is interesting because it's not greatly showing that pattern. It is a wee bit, but there's not a lot of contrast now as that's calmed down. And I'm just wondering about stamping with this pattern again on here. My concern is if I use the wild honey again, is it going to just be more of the same? But the stamping will be a darker. Oh, I could put that on there. What I'm short of is the blue now, because well, I've got a bit of the blue on here. I've got a bit of that's the kind of orangey reddy colour. That's the orangey colour. That's the pale colour. This is the purple. But maybe I want to put a bit of the blue on here. So let's use a different stamp though. Let's not use that stamp again, because I've got other stamps with circles on. In fact, I could get my favourite stamp out. You've seen this stamp set before. That's both sides of the same stamp set. It's just I've got them in two separate envelopes. But we could use one of these. We could use the row of circles. Or shall we use separate circles? Or shall we use, oh, see, now I'm thinking maybe I'll use that. Let's just use a circle. And let's use Stays On Midnight. Yeah, I think that's enough. And it's reacted a bit with the colours, but not to a stage that I'm concerned about. I'm just wondering about whether to try and stamp one of these wee ones right in the middle of that white. Do you know what? I'm going to. I might regret it, but never ventured, never gained. Oh, see, the trouble is it now looks a bit like eyes, doesn't it? That's maybe why it was never done by. See, I'm now, oops, I'm now sitting there going, Mary Ellen's going to want to put them on a mushroom or something. It does look a bit like eyes now, doesn't it? Even when it's going down that way. So we won't do the others, and we'll use that other half. Oh, Mary Ellen's going to love those eyes. Right. Why didn't I see that coming? I should have seen that coming. Never mind. Never mind. Right, I've still got enough of it. That's all that matters. Let's put these away. Do I edge it in? I'm tempted just to edge it in this midnight scene. I've got it here. Right, let's take that off there. Put that on there so it can dry. And let's go back to this, which I've now convinced myself of. I want that stuck there like that, and I want this down in this corner. And I always put the number somewhere on the page. So do I want it on the page? Do I want it in the pocket? Or do I want it on... Oh, I could put it in this white pocket. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? So our number is 429. And we'll just do that just now. Let's stick these down then. So that's that. This goes in the pocket. Oh, yes. I kind of like that. Here we are with our finished item for the Seri Renee Colour Cube in box number 2, 429. It was dark blue, dark purple, scarlet, flame and marigold in these kind of shades, and this is what I ended up creating. We've got another signature for my journal that I'll end up making, and on it at the back we've got the marigold shade and the dark blue, was it just called dark blue shade, and a bit of the flame shade as well. We've got this pocket made from this fab bit of magazine with the other colours all in here. Here's our 429, and then this bit of card that I said I'd had for such a long time has finally been used. It will finally be a journal card. I should have maybe stamped something on the back. Well, we'll see. When I actually journal on it, I might, gives me space to play and put something else on the back then. If it's a card going into my journal. I'm less fussed about doing something in the back because that might be something of what I do. We've got this pied woodpecker with its wee sign of what it is, this lovely torn wee bit. It's stamping in the seedless preserve, and it fits in the pocket like that. And I've also got this other bit to play with, and my googly eyes to play with, and some other project or other. Until next time, keep crafting. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. It really, truly does. You've got lots of options and you choose to spend time with this nutter. Thank you. You keep crafting and take care of yourself. Bye for now.